potentiometers. The tools you will need is a soldering machine, a helping hand solderman, a heat shrink gun, crimpers, a multimeter, your wire strippers, razor knife, hand wire strippers, snips, acute snips, 3 30-seconds hand tool, flathead screwdriver, 10mm wrench, soldering wire, and Allen wrench. To start out, you need to strip off the sheeting of your wire. This is 16/4 wire. Just give it a couple spins. Take the tool off. Always making sure you do not cut your wire, because if you cut your wire, that compromises the conductivity of the product. Just pull the sheeting off. It's pretty simple. Separate your strands from your wire. We will need a red wire, a white wire, and a black wire for the potentiometer, a ground for your box. Get your hand strippers. Strip just a little bit back. We're doing all 3 wires right now. Each time just strip a little bit back. I always start with the white wire, which goes in the middle of the potentiometer, because it seems when you do the soldering, it gets in the way if you start with any other. For the solder, get your solder stick. Always prime up my stick. Prime up my wire. Just a little bit to help you adhere to the potentiometer. There it goes. Adjust your helping hands. I call him Mr. Solderson because he's a good helper. Starting in the middle. And do not overheat, because it will burn up your board. As much as you can, avoid touching the board, again, to keep from burning it up. Now that you have a good bead on your wire, you can flip it over, touch the top, sometimes you have to turn up your temperature. Right now it's at 400. I'll bring it up about 25 degrees. I'll bring it up another 25 degrees. Just tapping to keep from burning up the board. Checking your bottom to make sure you have solder there. Always pour your wire to make sure that you have a good grasp on it with the solder. Just putting a little bit of solder on there to help out with the process. I don't have to put much, just a little bit to help you out. Get my red wire. Red goes to the right pin. Again, just tapping in a little bit at a time. We'll tap at a time. Again, avoid touching the board and hold it on there too long. You can burn up your board, which will make the product not work. You just check your wire, make sure it's good. Check your top and check the back, making sure you have solder on both sides. It's too much solder, so I just clip a little bit off. With your black wire, go ahead and put a little bit on your black wire. Prime it up again. Get your little pull on there. Going to the far left. Heat up your wire. Get the solder on the bottom to adhere to the left pin. Just touching it to keep from burning up the board. Check the top, and I check the bottom. See right here, I have a little bit needed on the bottom, so I flip it over, put it back in my helping hand, put that on, give it a pull, give the others a pull. We're good. So, with your wire strippers, you strip off the bottom of your red, your white, and your black. We're going to make sure that it's still functioning. You get your multimeter. I hook the black to the red. Just kind of spin it on here. Red to the white. Then we'll read it forwards, removing the black from the red. Add your black pin to your black wire. You do it again. You'll be going up. We'll stop at 10. Sometimes it can go a little bit over, which is fine. Now that you know your potentiometer is functioning, we can move on. With the GO 133, I always remove my sticker because it will get in the way. You take your 3/32 hand tool, make sure it's tight, making sure the bottom is loose. Usually stop it right about there. You see that it's open. I take a band strap and I put it on the sanding machine and sand it down to about this size. The small nut that me and Harley always has, and your washer. You start with your washer, you slide it on. You're in a tight area, sometimes you have to really work to get it on. There it goes. Using your finger, just hand tighten it back down, keeping pressure so your piece doesn't fall out. Tighten it up with your 3/32 hand tool. Just go ahead and slide this on. Tighten it up as hard as you can with your hand, keeping pressure. With your SWB 45 box, be a feed through, open on the top for the customer. That's where your wire will be going. Stripping your wire back. Using a ring terminal, we slide it on, clip it onto the ring terminal. I like to test always to make sure that my wire's in there, which it is. Go ahead and remove your ground screw all the way out. Slide it on to your ring terminal. Into the spot. Again, testing your wire using a X60 lid. With the 3/4 inch locking nut, we go ahead and slide it on. Get it threaded on. I like to do it about halfway because it helps when you put it on the box lid. So, with the X60 lid, you thread your piece in. Just have to match up your threads. Always try to make it even with the box lid, like so. With your wires gathered together, you feed it through the bottom, like so. Making sure you don't pull too hard. Sits like that. Putting your lid on, you just drop your screws in to place. Flathead screwdriver. The final screw. You can go ahead and start making sure they're nice and tight. With your heat shrink, you go ahead and slide onto your pins, like so. I like to do all three at the same time, so you can use your heat gun and do all three. The heat shrink shrinks really quickly. Like so. That's all you need. And enough for the potentiometer to show is dialing. Make sure that your sticker's nice and even. And put our dial on. I like to put it right at the pin before the 0, making sure that your dial is turned all the way towards the 0. This is 100. This is 0. Drop it over your pin, holding it in place. Again, making sure that it's on the spot. Gonna hand tighten it. Moving to the next side. On the far left right here. Making sure it's even. Matching up. The sticker matches the skew, which it does. Personalized sticker, which is mine, is A11. And QC, after approving it, they'll put theirs on the far right. You grab your multimeter, checking your ohms. We'll start with the black wire, red wire on your white. Dialing it up. With your pins, with it still on its 100, leaving the red on the white. Remove your black off the black and put it to the red. If you notice, it is reading 0 right now, even though it's at the 100 mark. As you work your way backwards, it will read backwards. And this is making sure both sides of the potentiometer is functioning correctly. Black wire is your line 1. Drop it in the fold, making sure it's nice and even and legible for the customer to read. Finally, will be line 3. Final label will be your do not overturn label, right, so the customer can see to do not overturn.